Hello, WeVideo community. Welcome to our webinar all about AI Assist. My name is Kaylin Todd, and I lead product marketing here at WeVideo. We have a really great session for you all today. This is the first of its kind in our WeVideo community. We have our two product managers, Chris Riley and Kathryn Sabanos here, and they're going to speak a little bit more about what's going on behind the scenes around AI Assist, how we're thinking about AI, and what's ultimately driving forward. We also here have our colleague Joe in the chat. And so if anytime you have questions, comments, reflections, we want to hear from you. And Joe will also be here to say more. So with that, I'm going to bring kind of our agenda to the stage before we deep dive. There's kind of three key components around what we're going to speak to today. We're going to have a fireside chat with Chris and Kathryn. Chris and Kathryn are also going to demonstrate their features that they're working on in the AI Assist category. And then we'll open the floor to questions. Ultimately, we want this to be a dialogue, and we want to make sure that we're hearing from you and there's a consistent feedback loop. So before we get into our discussion, I want to set the stage around why we're all here today. AI is an innovative new frontier. We're all beginning to understand and explore it more. But our team at WeVideo has been able to see that AI has the power to make video editing and lesson creation more efficient and productive. So it allows for you all to focus on what matters most, be it engaging with your students and personalizing the learning experience. And to that end, that's why we created a new category of products, AI Assist, to let you all know that we're actively thinking about these challenges as well and how AI can better support them. So as of right now, we have three key features that fit into our AI Assist category. Our subtitle generator, which automatically generates subtitles and transcripts in videos and allows for the accessibility process to be much more smooth and streamlined. We have AI interactions in our WeVideo interactivity product that allows for quick generation of pedagogically aligned lesson questions. And finally, background noise reducer, which allows for any video that you're recording, the background noise to be minimized and you can be able to record from anywhere. So with that, I'm going to bring Kathryn and Chris to the stage. And so Kathryn, Chris, first off, thank you again for taking the time to chat with us today, chat with the WeVideo community. I know everyone's really excited to put a face to all the great work that's happening behind the scenes. I have a few questions for you all to ask. I'm going to initially direct it to one of you, but if any of you wants to add on and continue the dialogue, you're more than welcome to do that. We want to be able to have a dialogue with our WeVideo community. So with that, Kathryn, can you start the process to introduce yourself, a little bit more about your role at WeVideo, and then we can popcorn it over to Chris.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kaylin. I'm so excited to be here to talk about AI Assist and how it came to be in our product and what we're thinking about for AI in the future. So I'm Kathryn. I am the product manager at WeVideo and also PlayPosit. And I have been here for 6 years now. I am a former teacher, educator, and yeah, now I've transitioned into the tech world, and I'm excited to continue to work and develop tools that support the learning process.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris. I'm the product manager over the WeVideo side of the product, so the kind of the video editing creation side, and I've been in ed tech for a long time, primarily in social emotional learning curriculum and other curriculum products, but WeVideo was a great fit as a kind of a source for inspiration for many teachers out here. And so I'm excited to kind of bring the next generation of tools to our educators.
Awesome. Fantastic team. I'm glad you all get to meet each other and hear a little bit more from our bigger, broader community. So my first question, Kathryn, a few short years ago, AI came into our lives in an instant. In the context of WeVideo, what do you feel the greatest opportunities are for these new developments?
Yeah, thanks, Keelan. Great question. So, in thinking about the integration of AI into education, it has unlocked so many opportunities, significantly transforming just how we learn and how we teach. I think some of the greatest opportunities that AI presents specifically in education is number one, personalized learning. AI can tailor educational experiences to individual students' needs and learning styles and different paces just by analyzing student performance and engagement. And AI can really support to customize resources and exercises and give learners that instant feedback, which is amazing. And it really just ensures that students receive that support that they need in order to succeed, and really just helping bridge that gap to be able to reinforce the strengths that they already have. And then secondly, I think it enhances accessibility. AI can assist in making education more accessible to learners, especially learners with disabilities. So thinking through like speech to text, text to speech technologies can help students with visual or hearing impairments, and also just using AI to be able to translate educational materials into multiple languages. It creates a more inclusive learning environment. And lastly, I think that there's a huge opportunity in the data-driven insights that AI can provide. AI can analyze a vast amount of data over time to be able to identify trends that may not have been identified for years after doing research, can identify those trends quickly and form those insights to inform educational practices and policies. And this approach then helps educators to better understand what teaching methods are going to be most effective and which areas learners struggle with the most, and how those educational outcomes can really be improved. So in summary, I think that AI holds the potential to revolutionize education by making it more personalized, accessible, efficient, and data-driven. And these opportunities can significantly enhance the learning experience, which is going to lead to better educational outcomes and really preparing learners for the future.
Awesome. Fantastic. Chris, is there anything you'd like to add before I jump on over to you to the next question?
I just think Kathryn did a great job of summarizing some of the key opportunities, but it's really about what AI excels at is all those repetitive tasks, those time-sucked repetitive tasks that you don't want to do. And it allows you to kind of free yourself to do the things that only humans can do. So things like, delivering that fantastic lesson that's relatable to students, AI is probably not going to be great at that. But if it can do some of the busy work of like grading papers behind the scenes, then it frees you up as educators to do more. And so that's what I see the opportunity is, kind of getting away from all the menial, they're important, but they're menial and repetitive tasks that we have to do in our lives. So we're free to spend more time on the things that only humans can do.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Chris. It's really, really great segue into my next question. So on the flip side, there are risks and challenges. What do you see what those risks and challenges are, and how, like, ultimately how we take those into account from there?
Yeah, I think, when ChatGPT kind of burst onto the scene, I don't think anybody was ready for how it was going to impact our daily lives, our online lives. And there are several things that have kind of emerged. It's not Skynet, Terminator, end of the world type stuff that a lot of people were talking about, but there are some significant challenges with AI. The first is that AI absolutely has to have context to be able to work effectively. And the biggest problem with most use of AI is lacking context. So it takes a lot of effort to put in all of the context that we naturally have. So if you just kind of, try it out, go into Chat GPT and just throw in a prompt, it's probably going to be wildly out of context. It's not going to understand what you're really asking. And this is especially true in the world of education. If you think about the amount of context that a teacher gathers from their students during a classroom day, they're noticing, facial expressions, how the students are moving or not moving in their chairs, whether they're engaged in the lesson, eye contact, face bobs, anything in a classroom that a teacher can gather as context. It's really, really difficult to feed into AI. And so when we hear claims like AI is going to kill off this profession, or AI is going to kill off this or that, I would take those predictions with a grain of salt, because AI, it's very difficult to feed all of that context into AI. And without context, AI can generate some very interesting results. I think the other biggest issue with AI is the issue that we have with society in general, which is that AI was built by humans and is a very human concept. So all of our biases, all of our flaws as human beings have been passed through the information that's fed into AI. So if you go into Chat GPT and you go through the Dolly image generator and you just ask it to generate, what does a typical American family look like, right? You're going to get a picture of a white, two-parent, male-female household, 2 kids, white picket fence, the quote unquote American dream, which is a very biased point of view. And there are a lot of students who don't have that worldview. They're not seeing the same thing that the source of information that feeds AI. So there's a lot of opportunity, if we're only relying on AI, for bias and some other kind of unintended consequences. And so those are, I think, the biggest risks is lack of context and trusting too much that AI is going to correct our flaws as human. We've got to actively work at that ourselves.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Kathryn, is there anything else you'd like to add on?
I think Chris nailed it right on the head. I think that context piece is huge. And being a former teacher, I know that it's so important to take in, those other considerations that AI just can't do. And, you have to, as a teacher and educator, you have to be ready to pivot when needed, based on your learners' needs. And that's just how it goes in any scenario. And AI is not able to do that. And so, there's a certain human element that absolutely has to go into it to make it successful.
Yep, 100% agree. It's it's a tool. Like we've spoken about this, it's a tool, not a toy, and that plays very much into the space. All right, Chris. Now getting into the meat and potatoes and why everybody's here today. With these risks and opportunities in mind, at a high level at WeVideo, how are we approaching AI? I know we have our first initial releases, but I know you know a little bit more about what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, I think the first thing is, right when the AI kind of explosion happened about a year and a half, 2 years ago, it seemed like every software was in a rush to throw out their AI feature, their new AI thing. And you'll notice that there are several softwares that kind of lagged behind and kind of waited for that to subside. And I think a big part of that is AI itself is not a strategy. It's not a feature. It is a tool that allows us to do things that maybe were technically not feasible or impossible, a few short years ago. So as far as how we at WeVideo are approaching AI, we're looking at all of those, like I said, those menial tasks, those things that are difficult or time consuming or nearly impossible for humans to do that AI is best at. So looking at the opportunities that Kathryn mentioned, so personalized learning, being able to figure out, it takes a lot of time to, if anybody's used Play Pause It, interactivity, or even the WeVideo assignments, it takes a lot of time to set up those assignments, let alone setting up one assignment for every student individually. So, but if we can take what a teacher's already doing and then make an individualized learning path for a student, then that's something that AI is perfectly capable of doing and allows teachers to use technology at scale. The second one is accessibility. So this is huge and something that we're very, very keen on using AI. So subtitle generation we'll get into, which is really the tip of the iceberg for accessibility, because what we're thinking of next is translation, being able to take something that was spoken in a language other than English and spit out subtitles for that language, or taking a video that was recorded in English and translating all those subtitles into multiple languages. So that's a huge one. Also, just accessibility in how videos are created. So doing some of the things that, students who may have trouble, younger students, putting those building blocks in place so that the video creation process is a little bit easier. Those are all different things that we're thinking about, but really just injecting small tools into every stage of our video creation lifecycle, background removal, object tracking, all of these things help to make the video creation process more accessible and maybe a little easier for everybody who's already doing it, while still allowing teachers and students to have that creativity that only humans can bring to the table.
Amazing. Fantastic. Thank you, Chris. I think that really encapsulates kind of where we're going forward. And kind of double clicking into that, I know we're going to be speaking about our subtitle generator, our AI interactions, and background noise reducer. And we're going to be demoing each of these with you all very shortly. But as a product and also a product marketing team, we're aimed towards looking to be able to solve problems and being able to allow for the user experience to build and expand and evolve. So teachers, administrators, anybody in the school community can do their jobs as best as they possibly can. What problems, in addition to the ones you just spoke to today, are you excited about potentially solving, leveraging AI in the future? I'll let Kathryn begin on that, and then I know Chris spoke to a number of the things, and so he can add on.
Yeah, thanks, Kaylin. The problem I'm looking most forward to solving is that personalized learning piece. I think for me personally, I struggled in school from every now and then, and to be able to have that personalized learning to make suggestions, or even just in a career, to be able to have a library of inspiration to really help me with my personalized career choices, things like that, I think would be huge, and would save a lot of time, instead of having to go through and talk about history and where the learner is at now and where you want to get to the future. Being able to make those suggestions, and also just to have that instant feedback is huge, rather than having to wait for you submit a video assignment or you submit a written submission, and if you're able to get that feedback in the moment, it makes that turnaround time that much faster for you. So yeah, it's that personalized learning that I'm really excited to really dig into.
Awesome. Chris?
Yeah, I think I mentioned several things, but really for me, it's about leveling the playing field so that everybody has a voice. So that's what WeVideo has been about from the beginning, is helping students, educators, marketers, anybody who wants to be able to express themselves through video to make that available to do so. We want to make a world where students who have an idea can bring that idea to life without extensive technical learning of how to use a specific tool or how to use a great example of that is our green screen. So we have a green screen technology, but it requires students to be in a film studio, right, with a solid colored background right behind them. Not all of our students are going to be able to film themselves in that setting. Not every school is equipped to do that. If you're a homeschool student, you probably don't have a green screen room in your house. Or if you are from a place where that technology or that capability, you don't have an extra space. So background removal is a huge thing. With AI pattern recognition, we can identify who the speaker is and we can remove everything else. So you can have the benefit of having a green screen without actually having a green screen. And those are the types of things that I'm most excited about, is kind of broadening the playing field and allowing everybody to have their voice through video.
I love it. Accessibility and access to creativity for everybody. It's really exciting to see where everything is going. All right, as I mentioned in the chat, I'm opening the floor for questions for Chris and Kathryn about their work around AI. I'll give you a few seconds to quicken the chat, and we can answer some of your questions. But if not, we can begin our demos and begin to answer some of your questions as you're thinking about it after. I know the first one's always challenging. All right. Oh, no questions. All right, cool. I know this is like the main event. So anyways, thank you, Chris and Kathryn, for giving your perspective and giving a behind the scenes peek around what we're up to. I'm going to add this back to the stage. So as I mentioned before, AI Assist features 3 different components. As of right now, it's going to expand and grow our subtitle generator, our AI interactions, and background noise reducer. I'm going to give the floor to Chris, and Chris is going to demo for you all our subtitle generator and our background noise reducer. What I'll note is that our subtitle generator has been live since 2022, but we're continuing to evolve it in the future. And our background noise reducer recently released this spring, and it's currently in beta. And so our team is beginning to test and be able to continue to understand it. So I'll let Chris share his screen, and he can share a little bit more about each of these tools.
All right. So background noise reduction was really similar to what I was just talking about with the background removal, right? We have a lot of students who are doing podcast projects in noisy classrooms, especially if the whole classroom is doing the project all at once. You likely have a lot of background noise. And so we found some models that really helped to clean that up. And so what I'll just go ahead and play it so you can hear. I have a 20-second clip of what this looks like, and then I'll show how to use it.
Get up, Andrew! Get up! Let's go! Get up, Andrew! Good catch, bud! Get up, Andrew! Let's go!
So you can imagine if this was a student recording a podcast instead of a noisy football game, you heard all of the extra kind of clapping and noise, and then at the end, you heard the coach kind of coming in there because as the model identified that as the primary voice. So that's what our background noise reduction does. So it's very, very simple. Any clip that we have, we can go in and apply background noise reduction by going into, audio and reduce noise. So that sends it through the background noise production or reduction model, and it takes a little bit to process, and then your noise is reduced on the background. And that's it for background noise reduction. The other major accessibility feature that has been out for a long time that we are working to improve is our subtitle generator. So if we want to take anything that we've created in our exports within WeVideo, we can go to subtitles, and it generates the subtitles. Sometimes it takes a couple of seconds for it to appear. Those subtitles can be adjusted. They can be edited so that they're correct. And then when we share this video through WeVideo, the subtitles are automatically applied in the WeVideo player. If we want to take that video somewhere else, then what happens is the video and its associated VTT file are downloaded or sent to Google Drive or the cloud, anywhere that we any integration that we have as far as storing those. And so that VTT file can be uploaded in any player. All of the major video players accept VTT files as the source for closed captioning. And so that's the way our subtitle generator works. That's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. And those of you who are on the call too, if you have questions about background noise reducer or subtitles or interactions as we're going through the demo, please don't hesitate to put it in the chat, and we'll begin to answer those questions right now. The thing I will also add too around background noise reducer is our beta is only available right now for teacher accounts, as we're continuing to grow and expand and test and understand how this tool can ultimately be used across the WeVideo space. So it's a really, really exciting tool, something that you all will be able to play around with during the summer and integrate in different ways in the upcoming school year. So I'm going to turn it over to Kathryn, and she's going to speak a little bit more around our generative AI feature, AI interactions, that's in our WeVideo interactivity product. So Kathryn, take it away.
Thank you. All right, is my screen up?
Not just yet.
All right.
But I can put the slides up if you want to talk through it as.
Looks like I'm sharing my screen. I think you just have to maybe bring it to the front.
Oh, yes, I see it. Ha.
Good.
Scroll down. Yep.
All right. Thanks. All right. So that was a great segue into the AI interaction portion of this demo. So I'm inside of interactivity, and I may or may not get in trouble for sharing this a little bit early, but we released AI interactions back in April. And so our first iteration of AI interactions allowed you to add AI interactions to YouTube videos. We are set to release soon for next school year to be able to add AI interactions to a WeVideo video using what Chris just demonstrated, our subtitle generator. So really exciting, and that's what I'm going to share with you all today. So I'm going to pull a WeVideo video that I have created. This is a product demo, and I'm going to go ahead and add it. And then you have this generate interactions button here, and you'll see with AI interactions, when we were thinking about the way in which we wanted to build it, we didn't want to add it in a way that's going to take away from the instructor process. We wanted to add it in a way that's going to complement that process of creating an interactive video. So as you're going through an instructional video that you plan on sharing with your learners, typically you're watching that video, you're thinking through, where do I want to check for understanding? And you're scrolling to that part of the video, you're pausing and adding that interaction there. And you can add an AI interaction at a specific point in the video. Or if you're adding a video that you've recorded yourself, you know it very well, you can just add AI interactions to the entire length of the video. And so that'll just go through, add those questions for you right there at various points in the video. And also, in addition to just complementing that instructor workflow, we wanted to design it in a way that wasn't just going to spit out, random questions. We really wanted to have it pedagogically aligned to, the instructor practices. So we decided to use Bloom's taxonomy as inspiration. And for those of you who may not be familiar with Bloom's taxonomy, it's really just a hierarchy of an order of thinking. So as you go up in the hierarchy, and Keelan can share this slide after the demo, as you go up in the hierarchy of thinking, the thinking becomes more complex. So you start out with remember, and those are just like your factual questions. And then as you go up, you're starting to think about how you're applying that knowledge and analyzing. And then the highest is create. So with those complexities, you can decide which complexity you would like to use within the video. You can select all of them. You can select remember if you just want some factual questions. And then we have 4 different interaction types: multiple choice, check all, free response, and fill in the blank. These are all auto-graded. So there's no teacher input needed once a learner completes an interactive video. So for the purpose of this demo, I'll just do remember and multiple choice. I'll click generate interactions. You'll get a little message. AI interactions are still evolving, just like all AI tools. We're still learning. So always make sure that you're checking those questions for accuracy, especially before you're delivering them to your students. So you can see the AI generated interactions have all been created. And then what's really nice about this is that you can go through and, as I said, AI is still learning. It may not be perfect every time. So you can go through and edit that interaction. You can change the question type if you'd like to something different. You can edit the text, edit the question choices, and you can also increase or decrease that complexity, or you can just simply regenerate that question if you want to try for something else. And then once you're done, then you're ready to go ahead and assign it to your learners. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen there.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathryn. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So for you all now to know, currently our AI interactions feature does that process with YouTube videos. And later, as you're coming back to school, there'll be opportunities to integrate WeVideo and this interactive feature more immersively aligned together. So it's really cool. We're able to give a great sneak peek, and you guys all got to hear it. Add this back to the stage. So thank you, Chris and Kathryn, for conducting this demo. I know all of you may have questions and new ideas. And so there's kind of 3 kind of key areas we wanted to address around timing, scope, and access. First, how is this being released? As mentioned before, all of these tools are live either in WeVideo or WeVideo Interactivity. We want to hear feedback from you all in terms of these tools. We're going to be sending a form out after this webinar, as well as the end, that you guys can give feedback on this webinar, as well as express interest around a lot of these AI tools. We also have a product feedback portal on our website, and Joe will put it in the chat as well as the screen. And this is a spot where you can actively give Chris and Kathryn feedback and ideas that they can integrate into our roadmap. In terms of the plans that have AI Assist, Joe may have mentioned this in the chat. All paid educator plans, so teacher, classroom, and general school and district, have subtitle generator and background noise reducer. And the background noise reducer is only on teacher accounts. AI interactivity is in our e-commerce classroom plans, but if anybody would like to add on interactivity, that's a process we're able to connect with our team. Finally, in terms of how to try this, I know there's so many new things that are up and running and you're excited to get on board. All of our AI Assist tools are in our e-commerce classroom plan. So if you have a teacher account or a free EDU account, you can try all of these tools for 30 days through that free trial. For AI interactions, as mentioned before, chatting with our team is the best next step. We'll be sharing out a form for you all to express your interest, but also if you are going to ISTE in a few weeks, we're going to be able to have an opportunity to have a free trial of WeVideo interactivity. Oh, hi, Lucas. So good to see you. So exciting. And there will be more opportunities to be able to try our tool in the future. So let me take this back off the screen. I see that there's a question here from Evan. We were a PlayPausa customer and a WeVideo customer prior to the merge. I did not see WeVideo Interactive. Is this coming to the PlayPausa platform? Great question. So WeVideo Interactivity is PlayPausa built into our WeVideo system. And so if there's any interest in learning more about WeVideo interactivity in our bigger immersive space, you can connect with our WeVideo team correctly and connect directly and be able to give a demo for you to be able to see it. That's ultimately the best next steps, and we're happy to continue your guys' journey in both of those platforms into one immersive solution. Great. Any other questions? Thank you, Evan. And Lucas is our former colleague, and he was on the ground for building PlayPausa. Questions, concerns, reactions from the group? Yes. Yeah, definitely create a free classroom trial, and you can explore all these features that we spoke to today. Let me bring this onto the stage. So as we wrap up today, we want to hear from you. We've created a form. We're going to also send this in an email as well if you are not present live on this call. More about how you felt this webinar went, feedback around any of our AI features, and also if you wanted to have an opportunity to chat live with Chris and Kathryn about your WeVideo experience. They're all ears, we're all ears. We want to hear from you because ultimately we're building everything together. So Joe, if you can put the link in the chat that anybody on the call can see. Okay. Perfect. The last thing that I will say is that we're going to be at ISTE in a few weeks in Denver. Kathryn will be there live. Joe will be there live and not behind the stage. So you'll get to be able to see him in person. Come to our booth 2200. A lot of our team will be there. Our leadership will be there, and we'll be able to continue to demo all of these new AI features. We'll be able to talk about all the new things that we have up and running and underway. And we will be happy to chat with you and learn more. And you can receive a free trial of WeVideo interactivity. But anyways, we're happy to have you all here. Thank you again for your time. Thank you, Chris, Kathryn, and Joe, for spending the afternoon with us. And yeah, have a great rest of your day and great rest of your week. Thank you. Talk soon. Cheers.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much. Take care, everyone.